doesn't see. Good evening and welcome to the Instant Rewards Back Office Live Training. This is Saturday evening, November the 23rd, 2013. My name is Ernest ODell. I'm your host and presenter for tonight. And as we have questions, feel free to type your questions into the chat module there on your control panel. We also have guests from Manchester, England. Sometimes we have guests from India and the Philippines on here. It's a little slower this evening because we have Thanksgiving holidays coming up, and I'm sure a lot of people are either traveling early or stopped by the weather or just, kind of getting ready for the festivities of next week. We'll be taking off next week for Thanksgiving week. I will be doing some tutorials, but I will not be doing the Wednesday and Saturday live webinar on Thanksgiving, Christmas, or New Year's weeks. I will do some tutorials as needed and as necessary and upload them. If you are registered on our YouTube channel over here, you can subscribe to the email updates if you miss one of the webinars or you want to go back and just catch some of the replays after I upload them. You can subscribe here. I'll send you the link over here in the chat window. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe on that little red button there. And as I do a tutorial upload, you'll also get an email notification. Okay. Tonight, what I'd like to share with everybody is just kind of some of the basics of becoming business-minded in your new business. And in our case, we're talking about instant rewards. Okay. You've got to approach your business with a little bit of a discipline. And when you talk to people on the phone, if you're following the 3 to 500 rule, you're going to be talking to a lot of people that respond to your ad, whether it's from Facebook or Craigslist or any one of the other ad venues, who are probably, they've been employees all their life. They've always worked for somebody else. They might still be working, or they're looking for a job. They're thinking in the job mode. Their brains are, programmed in the job mode to work for somebody else. And that's not bad. Nothing wrong with that. It's just that a lot of people don't have the mindset of a business owner. Okay, so I'm going to kind of give you a preview of this book. It's only 26 pages long, and there's going to be some other links and books following up in this. This is an encapsulation and compilation of about 18 years worth of my background and experience on the internet and working with certain tools. I went to update this book, make sure that all the links were current and everything was working, and all of the information was relevant. To be successful in any business venture, you've got to kind of be like Donald Trump or Grant Cardone or Joe Vitale. You got to be the boss. You got to develop that mindset of a business owner. You've got to look at your expenses and how much revenue you've got coming in. You've got to be the head honcho and wear all the hats. You've got to be the bookkeeper and chief cook, bottle washer. you've got to set your own schedule. You know, you got to figure out some time, you know, if you're a work-at-home mom, how to, you know, work around the kids when they're taking a nap time or something. You know, you've got to figure in, you know, special needs if you're the primary caretaker of an elderly person or something like that. You've got to, you know, you got to work around that and tell them, all right, you know, I've got a certain schedule I've got to keep, so, you know, don't be coming back here, you know, when I'm in the office working, you know, and wanting me to look up stuff on the internet for you because you don't know how to operate a computer. You know, it happens, okay? There's all sorts of life situations that people have. You have single moms, you have married moms who are stay-at-home moms. Some of them are work-at-home dads, single guys looking for an extra income stream. Some single men looking for work that are out of work, okay? There's a lot of different situations, okay? So you've got to really kind of dive in, and this is just a primer, okay? And I've priced it cheap enough over here on the website that at $10 it's an immediate download upon purchase, that it's well worth your money and time. I'm going to show you some of the content in it right here. Okay, I've already got it uploaded to the server, so it redirects. I've tested it. It works fine. It's got clickable links in it that you can get to these resources. First and foremost, I tell people if you don't have a coach or a mentor, you might get one. If you don't have a sponsor that sponsored you into the business, or if your sponsor with instant rewards flaked out on you and went off to another shiny object, see if you can find somebody else that can show you to you know, how to do the ropes. If not, then get on these webinars. This is not a do-all, end-all, but the webinars serve a purpose because they are evergreen. When the codec doesn't crash on me, I can upload this to the YouTube channel, and they're always there. Okay, as long as the internet is up and running, and as long as YouTube is up and running, I can be dead and gone and you know, staring at daisy roots, and you guys can still come back here and look back, you know, 5, 10 years down the road after I'm, you know, had my eulogy, you know, and still find the content here that would still be relevant, you know, to that time, and perhaps may still be relevant because good business practices never go obsolete. Okay. One of the things that I've found about the Small Business Administration over here in the United States, I went to the SBA. They have a lot of old retired business people over there, men and women, who have run corporations, who have been an extremely beneficial help to getting people, you know, set up with the right brochures, books, you name it, okay? Our taxes pay for these publications. They will give this stuff to you. You can go to the USDA and find all kinds of stuff about how to fertilize your garden and how to grow crops, okay, because the taxpayers' money pay for it. Well, the same thing if you go over to the Small Business Administration. They have these resources over there that will help you develop the business skills. Would it help to go to a junior college or maybe to a 4-year college and get an MBA? Yeah, but not everybody has that time. Look at Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. These guys were college dropouts. Look at Bill Gates, college dropout. These guys, Michael Dell with Dell Computers, college dropouts. These guys, they said, I've got something that's going on, and college just wasn't their thing. They're multi-billionaires. Okay, Donald Trump, he went to school, he got his degree. Uh, he went to what school of business was it over there in the East? Uh, but anyway, I recommend his books. Joe Vitale, he went to college, I think, at Ohio State. Okay, so for some people, college works, okay? And for some people, a junior college works, or just a little business college, a little local business college. Take some business courses. You can go online. You can find stuff to add to your marketable skills. But a good place to start, and you can get a lot of free information if you're really interested in learning to become business-minded, you can go over to the Small Business Administration in your area, okay? Find a mentor or a coach and get them to, show you the ropes. If you can find somebody, in Instant Rewards to show you how to do it, if they're making, $3,000 to $5,000 a month or more, they're probably doing something right. So you probably need to, grab a hold of their shirt tail and hang on to them. And if they coach you, if they charge you $100 a month or $100 an hour, spend an hour or two with them, call it an investment in yourself. You can write it off. You'll get a receipt. I've got a website where I have a coaching website. People can sign up for $100 an hour coaching time. Okay? They get a receipt. As soon as they make that payment, PayPal sends them a receipt. They can deduct that off of their time because that is coaching time. That is an expense. That's a business expense. A lot of people, they see these costs and they say, oh, man, I ain't going to pay for that. Well, most people wouldn't pay for $1 on some of these offers either. Why? It gets back to that situation where I've told you most people are employee-minded, okay? So if they're not going to make that transition to become the employer instead of the employee, then, you can qualify them or you can disqualify them within about 3 to 5 minutes, depending on the ad. And like I said before in that previous video that I did at the 3 to 500 consistent, you can pre-qualify somebody in 3 to 5 minutes. I had one guy totally disqualified in under 2 minutes and bid him adieu, bid him good day, and wished him well in his job search. All right. It happens, okay? Because your time is money. If you value your time at $100 an hour and you spend 5 minutes with somebody, then you've spent somewhere in the neighborhood of about $6 or $8 of your money out of your pocket, and you didn't get paid for it, okay? So don't waste your money. Don't waste your time. If you can find a power affiliate that's making $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 a month, then, that'd be all the better. Find one and listen to them. I've had people that I've worked with, I've paid thousands of dollars to sit there and listen to them and take notes, for an 8-hour session. $1,000, $1,500 for an 8-hour session. But I can guarantee you I took a lot of notes. You might get lucky and find somebody on the internet that knows the ins and outs of internet marketing. Get with them. And you might even find somebody who joins up under you that might know more about internet marketing than you do. There's no harm in that. So don't become too proud to accept a little help from someone. even if they came in through your downline, okay? The thing to remember is this right here on this. The internet is not a business. It's just another method of communication like the telephone, fax, television, radio. Learn how to use it properly, and it will become your friend. Back in the old days, we used the fax machine, telephone, and pagers. When cell phones first came out, they were as big as a briefcase, and they were heavy, and you couldn't lug them around. You couldn't stick them in your pocket. Now they've got cell phones as small as your hand. You got the iPhones, had more computing power in an iPhone than the computers that went to on the Mars rover, okay, Voyager. So they got cell phones now that you can wear on your wrist, like a wristwatch. If you find a power affiliate as a mentor, you'll be lucky. Listen to them, follow their advice. Before you go shelling out a lot of money, look at some proof of what they've done with their own success, okay? Remember the old adage, you get what you pay for, okay? Americans tend to come from a largely self-sufficient culture and mindset, albeit we do have an entitlement percentage of people over here, but they'll never get rich living on the government dole. And some people, if you can show them how to become independent, they can still make money, because getting on the government dole is only going to keep you imprisoned in the prison of poverty, okay, and dependence. If you can help somebody make that transition when you're on the phone with them, you'll be doing them a great favor, okay? Read Grant Cardone's books. Go to Amazon.com. Look up Grant Cardone, Grant Cardone. He's also on YouTube. Listen to some of his videos. Tony Robbins. Listen to some of these guys. Frank Kern, Gary Vaynerchuk. These guys can give you a lot of ideas. Okay. Don't be afraid to have people pay you, or to pay somebody else to teach you if you need that time, because they're busy, you're busy. It's not a bad thing to remunerate somebody for helping you, even if it's just temporary. Remember, even the ox treads out the corn, and the workman is worthy of his hire. Otherwise, he wouldn't be working for you. Okay? I don't know anybody that would go to work for somebody for free. Doesn't mean that you stop thinking for yourself and asking questions and probe and challenge your mentor. This is what mentors are for. They're not there to just do a brain dump, and connect up an HDMI cable from your cerebral cortex to theirs. They're there to teach and to learn just as well. So, pay attention to them, and just maybe you might learn something from them. Another good way to learn a business mindset is to read some good books by successful people. Grant Cardone, Donald Trump, Joe Vitale. These are just a couple of, my mentors. I am in direct communication with Grant Cardone on Facebook. He's a New York Times best-selling author. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to get into Grant Cardone, Miami Beach. I'm going to get on here. I highly recommend listening to this guy. And don't worry about getting some haters, all right? Work hard at getting some. You notice we're friends here, okay? So, I send chats on his pictures. He's got a beautiful little family, and I correspond with people like this. So, when I'm dropping names, I'm not just dropping names. I'm not into that. Okay. Joe Vitale. Okay. Here's another one. Went to Kent State up in Ohio. I like his goofy glasses. You notice we're friends. Okay. Joe Vitale and we've been friends for a long time, for about 15 years. I got all of his books. Most, if not all of them, are autographed. He lived about 25 miles east of me over in Blanco. When I was living in Blanco, he lived in Wimberley. He lives in Wimberley, Texas, and I lived in Blanco, and I'd go over to his house. So, and I know his girlfriend. I did some work for him. I've done some PR for him. I wrote I've got pictures of him over in my photos. Okay. So, when I drop names like this, I'm not dropping names to try to garner favor or anything with anybody. I don't know who this guy. Oh, that's my mom's boyfriend. That's a wig man from Borneo, or Papua New Guinea. There's a picture of Joe Vitale here. Okay, when he was doing his book on Ho'oponopono. We were doing. He was doing a book signing on the Zero Limits, and I bought several copies of the book from him. And yes, I am that big. It was hot in the store that day. He was sweating like a trooper. He must have signed about 10,000 copies that day. I think he'd been working on them for several weeks before the book signing. But he did some personal signings. So, when I say, I know these people personally, and there's some of my friends over in the Philippines, and a picture of my girlfriend over in the Philippines. I'm not just dropping names. You're only about 2 people away from, someone, you want to meet, if you really want to meet somebody. I've got there's a bunch. Here's some more. There's 37 photos in here. There's Joe and I in this one, standing for a photo. We were there in the store. We had somebody take a picture. So when I tell people that I know somebody, I'm putting this out, over the internet. I'm not doing it just to drop names, okay? These are the people I pay attention to. I haven't gotten to meet Donald Trump yet. I always wanted to tell him you're fired. I've bought Donald Trump's book, How to Get Rich. It's not a get-rich-quick book. He teaches you good, solid business principles. And even though he made his billions in real estate and casino and golf, he's got a different mindset. You know, wealthy people and business people have a different mindset, and this is the mindset that, you know, you need to develop. I like Jim Rohn's statement. You know, formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. The titles in my library, I've spent more on my books and my titles than most people spend on their college education. Okay. Inspirational books like Think and Grow Rich from Napoleon Hill. This book right here, Step-by-Step Guide to Selling Online. It's no longer an affiliate product, but the book is still available over at the Internet Marketing Center. I bought one of the original copies before Corey Rudel got killed in the racing accident back in 2005, and I still have it. I wouldn't take $1 million for it because it's still, and I have the VHS tapes that came with it. So does that tell you how old it is? The fundamental principles, okay, are still good. So if you take this book and go over and look at their website, step-by-step guide by the Internet Marketing Center. It was taken over by Derek Gill, and I think Derek has gone on to some other things. But you can still get over here, and I think everything is downloadable now. So as soon as you purchase it, you can go over there and just, you know, download it. They used to send it out on VHS in a big binder. Now they put everything in digital, and you have to wear out your printer. But they got a risk-free trial for 30 days. You can try it for 30 days for $2.95. And it's, I mean, Corey Rudel and the Internet Marketing Center, they wrote the book basically on internet marketing back when 15, 16 years ago, the internet was still kind of like the old Wild West. He teaches you, you know, they teach you the basic fundamental concepts of learning. If you don't invest in yourself, and, you know, then I tell people, I said, look, if you just went to Best Buy and got a computer, and you think you're going to get online and make $1 gazillion overnight or in 30 days because you clicked 3 buttons and Miss Click Boobs jumped out of a cake, you know, scantily clad, it's not going to work. It just doesn't work that way, okay? You got to pay your dues. Do you have to spend 2 or 3 years doing it? No, unless you're dumb like me. It took me 5 years to figure it out. I was getting all this traffic, and, you know, I figured, okay, I'm doing something right, but I don't know what I'm doing. Literally, it did. I had internet gurus like, you know, Willie Crawford ask me, how'd you do it? I said, I don't know, but I'm going to find out. Took me a while to figure it out, you know, and it's not one piece of software. It's a strategy. It is developing a strategy. And in this book, I tell you, one of the things you want to do is pen a marketing plan, a business plan, whether you go to the bank and borrow money or not. If you can just kind of write it down on a simple 1-page ledger, you know, if you've got a 8.5 by 11 or an 8.5 by 14 legal pad, pen down your strategy, what you want to do, or your goals, or get one of those marble notebooks that you use for composition books, or get a spiral notebook or somewhere, but keep it handy. Always keep it, on your desk so you can look at it every day. And at the end of the day, okay, you write down how much closer did you get to your goals, all right? Write down your goals and then 10x it, like Grant says. 10 times it, okay? And how are you going to get there? If you don't know how you're going to get there, then get with your mentor, your upline, or a coach and say, I need some help. I've got people calling me from India, all right, and Ghana. I have people from Uganda and Kenya calling me, begging me to help. I can't help everybody because, I got to lay down, take some sleep every now and then. Just like anybody else, I got to fix supper and eat. But I know that there's a lot of needs out there, and this is why I felt like, could I give this book away? Yeah. Would you read it? No. I'm going to tell you right now, you give something away to somebody and most people won't do anything with it because they don't have any intrinsic value. All right. I priced this at only $9.99 for a reason, because I'm not getting filthy rich off of it. That's for damn sure. Okay. But the intrinsic value, I would hope that people would find more value than the $10, okay? One of the things that I want to show you right here, okay, is some of the services that you can get. These are monthly services. If you need a fax away for faxes or buy a fax machine, you can buy a fax machine over at, Next Day PC, questrpc.com. You can get a digital online fax over at Faxaway or eFax, and they can send you the fax as a PDF attachment. Occasionally, yeah, you're going to need a fax machine. You got to fax your W-9 over to Instant Rewards, or they need to fax something back to you. You got to sign it and fax it back to them. It comes in handy. Telecenter, if you're going to run a call center, you need call center software, but you don't have the money for the equipment. You can set up a call center on VoIP. COA Networks has been in business for a good 20-some-odd years. They have a 14-day free trial, and if you sign up 3 people under you, you get it free as long as they're signed up, in an equal plan. If you go over your minimum, your rates would, or you go over your plan rate, you're going to pay anywhere from 3 to 5.9 cents a minute. Okay. You can get local numbers. You can get toll-free numbers. You can get vanity numbers. You can try a free trial for 14 days. You can choose your number. Okay. You might use them to boost your image. You might use them for inbound calls. Not everybody's going to need something like this. Realtors, yes. Insurance agents, yes, they do. They use this a lot. If you're running some kind of a call center in Instant Rewards, you might not need it. You might need something like iConference Bridge, or you might need something like GoToMeeting, what we're using tonight. I train my people on GoToMeeting because it's easy to set up. I can set up a webinar on a fly. I can just, set it up on the fly. All right. So it comes in handy for training people. Step 5, if you don't have Skype on your computer, you can download it free. It's a little bit of a resource, an infrastructure hog, and a memory hog. But if you're just talking one-on-one with one other person, it works fairly well. I talk to people all over the world on Skype for free. If you want to go on a paid plan, that's your choice. You don't need it just working one-on-one, okay? Team Viewer is another good little program that some people like to use, and there's lots of other programs out there. I didn't include them all in here. Record keeping. Yeah, you're going to need to keep records. That's a given, okay? When it comes tax time, if you're running a business and you've gotten some good instructions from your tax people, you can probably find a lot of these expenses, can be written off. Your printing costs, business cards, flyers, brochures, stuff you download and pay for on the internet. This book right here qualifies as a tax deduction because you get a receipt from PayPal. All right. I don't advocate any kind of dishonesty. Business-minded people keep records for a reason because, they're allowed. All right. If you have some allowable discounts and expenses and deductions, by God, take them. All right. Keep good records. You need to be totally convinced that, what you're doing is worthwhile. If you're not sold on what you're doing, nobody else is going to join up with you. You've got to change your mindset from that of an employee to the employer. If you're the first person in your family to take this step, great. That's fantastic. If you've tried and failed before, that's even better, believe it or not. No one succeeds the first time out of the chute. Very few people, I've heard it said too many times, this business is so easy I can get a 9-year-old to do it, or I got my pet monkey doing it. Well, that might work depending, instant rewards is simple. It is easy. Cut, paste, and send. Qualify, get green, cut, paste, and send, and, each one teach one to do the same thing. It's not hard. I can do 10 or 15, 20 of them a day. Okay. Employee-minded people, when they run into snags and failures and setbacks, they just give up and walk away. They go back to another shiny object, or they just go back to that job that they hate. Business-minded people, they're always aware of what they need to do and constantly hone and fine-tune what they're doing. Even Donald Trump hasn't been successful. I remember reading some of Donald Trump's books where he said he was $9.4 billion in debt. Okay? And while Donald Trump has never filed personal bankruptcy, he has been on the board of some companies that he had vested interest in that had to file for bankruptcy. But personally, he's never had to file for bankruptcy. So you've got to differentiate. I've heard people say that Donald Trump filed bankruptcy. That's not true. He may have been sitting on the board of some of these companies like the casino up in Atlantic City, Trump's, because the board of directors, run it into the ground. Or some of these golf courses. But Donald Trump has taken more real estate, golf courses, and casinos and turned them around than he has ever bankrupted. And he's never taken personal bankruptcy. So there is differentiation, all right? But with business people, each experience is a learning experience, and it helps you to become stronger. Let me give you an example. Let's say you go and post 20 ads on Craigslist, and you get flagged, and you wonder why. Well, that's because most people fail to go over and read Craigslist terms and conditions. How many times have I been on here and I said, when you go to Craigslist, okay, you want to find out what you can get away with and what you can't get away with? Go right here, terms of use. As a matter of fact, I did a video on it yesterday. I did a tutorial on it yesterday, right here. How to stop the Craigslist slap. It's right there at the top, folks. Read it, watch it, read their terms. They will tell you right here in section 4. Posting an account, what you can do. A user may post the same or substantially similar content no more than once every 48 hours. Now, some people say, well, you can do 3 in 48 hours or 3 a day. That's not what Craigslist says. I see a lot of bad information. Somebody tell me if I'm wrong. Michelle, correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody slap me. Somebody, please. Shoot me. Put me out of my misery. All right? If you want to know what you can get away with, go straight to the horse's mouth. Okay? They will. If you don't understand the legalese, then, beware of wading in on Craigslist forums and asking questions, because they'll eat you over there. They're like alligators. You might as well be walking into a billabong, waist deep with dead chickens tied around your waist, full of alligators. But, you want to find out what you can do, what you can't do. Read the rules. Same thing with any of these, like Backpage. They'll tell you, go over to Backpage and read. Read what you can do, what you can get away with, what you can't get away with. All right? Come down here, look at their terms of use. All right? User safety, how to avoid scams. Here, section 4, posting adult content is not allowed. Okay. Posting any ad for products or services, use or sale, which is prohibited by law. Okay. Using email, mail, email, voice messages, or fax for solicitation of any other product or service to a user of the site unless the user has granted permission. Deleting or revising any material posted by another user. Interfering or infringing on patents, copyrights. There's all kinds of stuff. You want to find out what you can do, what you can't do. They've got legalese in here that is really not all that hard to understand. Okay, if you don't understand it, email them, call them, fax them. Okay, they got a Dallas number. Okay, call them up, or email them. Or fax them, or send an email to support, support at Backpage. You want to find out what you can get away with? Classifieds Network and ClassifiedAds.com, very friendly people, very good people. Quick Ads. I went over to Quick Ads one day, and I was, posting some stuff over there, and I had a question about one of the posts. I went over here to Quick Ads, Contact Us, and I clicked in on the Contact Us, and I sent them an email. They got their contact at quickad.com, support. Usually you'll receive a response within 1 to 3 hours, and sometimes it might take a day, but they were pretty fast about getting back to me. Terms of use, if you don't understand something, email them and ask them. They're very nice. They were very friendly and very helpful toward me. They weren't like these alligators over at Craigslist. So, don't just trust, what somebody tells you, well, you can do 20 a day or 200 a day or whatever. Okay. Don't, I do 1 a day and I get away with it, but I don't push the envelope. Okay. Learn what works. Okay. It took me, I don't know, I want to say at least 12 months to finally figure out Craigslist without getting slapped and ghosted. Now, mind you, I swore off of Craigslist for over 8 years, okay? And when I started using them back about 18, 20 months ago, I got flagged. I was getting flagged and ghosted, so I just went into, Craigslist. I deleted all my posts, and I just let it sit there for a couple of 3 weeks. I think at one time I got slapped again, flagged and ghosted. I let it sit for 6 weeks. When I finally learned what to do right and what not to do on Craigslist, I quit getting ghosted and I quit getting flagged, okay? This is what I was telling Caleb earlier today when we were talking on the phone. I said, you want to avoid certain red flag words and phrases because you want to fly under the radar of, your competitors. So when you make a mistake, learn from it. You're going to go through this. This is not a perfect world. You're going to make mistakes, and you're going to get slapped and flagged every now and then. Look at, getting something to promote yourself, business cards. Do a little old school stuff, offline, fishbowl marketing, business cards, passing out brochures and flyers. When you start making money, and it won't take you long. I've had some people that started making money the first day they signed up. Okay. Then go out and treat yourself. I can remember the first time I made $58. Oh, I was excited, not that I needed it, but it's just something that I actually did because it was something new to me. All right. Set a goal, set goals, set big goals. Okay. How much money you want to make in a month? How much money you want to make in a year? Then 10x it. Okay. If you only get halfway there, you met your goals and then some. All right. You have to be passionate about what you're doing, okay? You can't let that come through when you're talking to people. If your bills are overwhelming you, you got to put that out of your mind, folks. You're in business now. And sometimes it helps just to get dressed for the part. Sure, you can walk the 30-foot, 30-second commute, from your bedroom to your office. You can work in your jammies. You can step off into the kitchen and go get your coffee. But, sometimes you just have to get up early in the morning when it's still dark, 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, go in there and take a shower, clean up. Guys, shave. Girls, you get prepped up and do your pretty things. And, the kids are still asleep. And you get ready, you get dressed, you put on your high heels. Guys, you put on your wingtips, you tie your tie, you put on your freshly starched, crisp shirt. You're not a fresher, okay? You're not an entry-level guy doing this anymore. You are the boss, and you have to get up and show up before the employees do. You get in there, you post your ads for 2, 3, 4 hours, and then the rest of the day you can spend taking calls as they come in. You got to get ahead of the game. You got to schedule yourself, okay? And then, after the end of the day, you want to change the notion of bills coming into your mailbox, then you've got to do something. You've got to take some drastic action. You've got to take some massive action. And sometimes that means rolling your ass out of bed at 3 o'clock in the morning before you start burning daylight, and you got to get ahead of everybody else. You got to get ahead of the slackers, okay? Because the slackers down there in their mommy's basement, are going to be flagging your ass. You got to get ahead of them, okay? You're not going to get rich working for someone else, okay? Can you bring in a little extra money working for somebody else and having a second job? Sure. But you're not going to get filthy rich working for anybody else, All right, you'll always be an employee, but you've got to make that transition. Okay, the person that grows the quickest is the one that is least resistant to change. That's I think that's an old Chinese proverb. I'm not sure, but there's a lot of truth to that. You know, some people don't want to change. They say, "Oh, that's just too much. That's too hard," because this society over here has conditioned too many people to whine and moan and bitch and piss, you know, and live like a bunch of entitlement babies, wah, 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 you know, and then, you know, what the government can give you, the government can take away. Uh, you know, don't be dependent on anybody else. You got to become accustomed to changing, and the hardest thing to change is that mindset that, you know what, this just might work. This being in business for myself just might work. If I learn how to do it, I just need somebody to show me the ropes, okay? Number 3, never measure your growth against someone else. When you were measuring your growth on the doorway as a kid, you know, your moms and dads, you know, they put little markers on the door, you know, as you grew an inch in a month, or, you know, you always measured your growth against yourself. You didn't measure your growth against someone else. Each bit of growth was giving you confidence that you were growing up. You were a big girl now. You were a big boy now, you know. My nephew, he's got his son 1 year's going on 2 years old. He's not going through the terrible twos. He's a big kid, you know. He's a big boy, you know. And, you know, when you build up their self-esteem and, you know, show them how they're growing up, you know, you've grown, you know, 2 or 3 inches, you know, and they say, "Oh man, you're getting big," you know, kind of puffs their little chest up, you know, and they strut around like a cock in the middle of the chicken yard. Uh, you know, you do the same thing for yourself in your business. Okay, stay focused. Step 9. There's a lot of high traffic performance networks over on classified ad sites. These high traffic, that's right, Michelle said focus is key. These high traffic websites, networks over here, these are paid performance sites. Okay, so when you get to looking at some of these, you will work with an ad manager. These are what the big gurus are spending some big bucks for. You can spend $100, $200, $300 on a deposit getting set up with them. You can spend $500. You can spend $1,000 on some of them. You can spend 10, 20, 30, 50,000, 100,000 on some of them. You just got to kind of work with each one and find out, you know, where you fit in with your niche. Can you market instant rewards through some of these high performance? Absolutely. Some of them that I use is Ad Knowledge, Ad Marketplace, and ClickSoar. Clicky is a tracking service, CPOA. Max Bounty is another one. HyperTracker is a tracking service, and 7Search. These are PPC search networks. Okay, so there are, you know, some ways, but it's a little bit more complicated, and it's a learning curve. Okay, so I don't recommend these for beginners. I put them up there so that when you get your feet wet, okay, and you've made some money with the free and the cheap low-cost advertising sites like Big City Advertising and Quick Ad and AdPost and some of these other sites, Craigslist, American Listed, U.S. Free Ads, they're not free, trust me. Everything that I've placed over here I've always had to pay for. Classifieds Network, they're free. 24/7 backlinks, plugs you into the forums. You can get 25,000 credits for $25, 1,000 credits, for the dollar. You can use their pingers, use the pinging sites. It's all about strategy, okay? I use pinging services, and I use Add This, the little Add This plug-in. I use Craigslist. I hammer the hell out of Twitter. These are gifts, okay? Use them. Twitter, social media. Be careful how you post on the free WordPress sites and Blogger and Blogspot. If you don't have your own hosted account, there's certain limitations that you cannot post, affiliate links on some of these sites. Be careful about using too much hashtag, or you get slapped on Twitter for hashtag abuse. Same thing with Facebook. Okay. We did a tutorial on Twitter last week. We've got a ton of resources up here on YouTube. Okay. Over here on this one right here, how to generate killer traffic using Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, ASR, and pingers. These are just strategies, okay? These are not one size fits all. This is not, a business in a box. This is a business of components that you have got to learn how to put together and integrate. You've got to integrate your strategies, all right? Sometimes you just have to sit down and write out in a word processor or put it down on pen and paper. Step 1, what you're going to do. Step 2, Step 3, Step 4, Step 5, okay? But one of the things that you've got to remember is that you've always got to advertise, whether it's free advertising or low-cost advertising or paid performance advertising. Back in the Great Depression of the 1930s, all the businesses that continued to advertise are still in business today. Those that chose to hold on to their money until better times arrived, they're history. They're gone. Frost Brothers was a big clothier chain years ago. Their home office was in San Antonio. Sakowitz, Neiman Marcus are big names, but Sakowitz, Neiman Marcus, they still advertise like J.C. Penney. They even had to revamp themselves. J.C. Penney had to retool themselves. Sears and Roebuck, they've retooled. They're still in business. They still advertise. Macy's, okay, they're still in business, over 100 years old, because they still advertise, okay, and they advertised during the Great Depression, okay. All the businesses that quit advertising during the Great Depression went out of business, all right. This book has clickable links, okay, for websites like Facebook, YouTube. YouTube is an integral component of my marketing schema, folks. YouTube, Facebook, MySpace on a limited basis. I don't use MySpace that much. Twitter, PhotoBucket, LinkedIn, yes. Dig, I use Bebo, Reddit, Plaxo, Metafilter is another one that I use. Black Planet, I use that. I use FriendFeed. I use that a lot. Ping FM is no longer in service. I need to take that out. TweetDeck, that's one of the Twitter utilities. I did a Twitter. I included some links on Twitter utilities. Here's another short list of some of those social media resources. Ning, big time. Orkut, okay. These show your rankings. Backflip, ranking by Quantcast and Alexa and Google PR. You can follow me on YouTube. use add this. Don't forget to use pingers, big city advertising, uh, and call me if you need to. Okay. It's short for 26 pages, but one of the things that I pointed out also is to use this right here. Go grab a copy of the no-cost marketing system. This system right here is a complete home study course on how to get traffic. Traffic is the fuel to your business. It's like gasoline for your car. If you don't have traffic, you're not going to make sales. This right here, I think, is a little $17 or $27 product over at the no-cost marketing system. It's got over $3,000 worth of videos and tutorials in it. Something like 2 or 3 dozen videos and reports and links in it. It's all internet-based. You don't have to download anything. You can watch them, go back, bookmark it, watch it, go back, and rewind them, and play it back. Take notes. I've used this. Some of the things that I've learned about posting on the internet. Some of these services like Webs, okay, webs.com, free, okay. I like the price. It's free. You can upgrade if you want to. You can go pro. Weebly, okay, there's another free site. Excellent resources, beautiful websites and templates that you can create over at Weebly. Another one is Wix. We've got some users on here that some attendees that use Wix. Okay, let's get over here to Wix.com. Wix, you can set up mobile sites. This is the way things are going. I had one site that was scrambling my code on HTML because the CMS and CSS was messed up on it. So I went over and created a new site over on Webs, and it works perfectly. Plugged in the code. So there's a lot of resources out there, and this is why I'm saying, make these social media venues part of your overall schema, like YouTube, Facebook. I've done tutorials on Facebook, how to post properly without getting slapped. I lost one of my accounts over on Facebook, and I've had people email me, and they say, oh, I keep getting slapped and shut down. I've lost 3 or 4 accounts. And I'm saying, well, duh, you're using the same PVA, same email address. They've got you by IP, okay? They know you're trying to game the system. You can't do it after a while. They've kind of got you, so you really almost have to drive across town to set up a new account, go get you a Cricket phone, for a different PVA. Squidoo, HubSpot, Hub Pages, use them, bang the hell out of them, because they're not going to do anything but make you money. Flickster, eOpinions, Blogger, just don't do any affiliate links on Blogger and on the free Blogger, Blogspot, and WordPress, because it'll shut your blog down. When I started promoting the DMS group ad post on other venues, it was getting, a little over 20 million hits, unique visits per month. 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. And then in October, it jumped to 53 million. Go back over here. Let me open up that page. Yeah. Let me blow this up so you guys can see that. Okay. Total number of page views to date. Okay. That's for, this month. 35,364,331 page views. That's just for the month of November. Okay. It's averaging a little over 1.9 million per day. Okay. That's 1,924,000. That's averaging 1.6 views a day. The total max is running 1.9. The number of unique visitors, okay, coming to the site. Does that mean they're all going to drill down to your ad? No, not unless they're just looking for your particular ad. But if you look at these numbers from December of last year, okay, up to September, they're all in the 20 million plus. All right. Back here, October last month, 58 million. Now we're almost there, and what is it? The 23rd of the month. On the 15th of the month, I had more than half of October in page views. Okay, so who knows? Maybe November it'll be about the same, or maybe even more than October. Well, I beat my own record, where they said that we were getting over 20 million hits per month. I beat my own record. Well, what did I do to get here? A lot of it was I was just banging the hell out of this site, the URL, plugging it into the forums. I was plugging it into the pingers. And this is what I keep coming back to, guys. It's all about strategy. I put this up on Facebook. I had people signing up on, you tell people in the Facebook groups that you've got a directory of free classified ad sites, they're going to come over here and use it. Give them something free. Give them something of value. Okay. If you can send them to a special course or a website, they need to, learn how to build a website. Team Treehouse. You want to learn how to program, learn a new programming language. You can sign up for, I think it's like $25 or $49 a month. Okay, learn at your own pace. Learn how to write applications for laptops and mobile technology. This is not an affiliate site. There's plenty sites out there. There's a lot of free stuff on YouTube. Okay, you can learn over on YouTube. You want to learn HTML. HTML tutorial for beginners. They got all kinds of stuff up here, that you can learn. HTML programming. You want to learn how to do WordPress themes. Tyler Moore is the guy that I always send everybody over to. He loves it. WordPress themes, 2013 tutorials. You'll find a a lot of Tyler Moore's stuff up here. Go to WordPress Themes 2013. Tyler Moore. This right here, it's 1 hour and 3 minutes long. Shows you step by step. He doesn't miss any steps. How to make a website with WordPress. How to get it hosted. How to get it plugged in over at HostGator. Get the baby plan and, get it cheap, and how to plug it in and use the right templates. And, I don't know if he's doing Empower Network or not, but, he's making money with his own business doing this. Okay. But, this is where I send people. Add to your skills. Okay. This book right here, it gives you a lot, and I'll be adding more to it as time goes on, and probably just keep the price at the same price. I'll probably include links in here to other books and bonuses, but you've got enough here to start with, guys. If you wanted to. I'm going to open it up for question and answers, and I'm going to unmute everybody. Kay and Michelle, I think, are the only two people that are with us right now. Everybody else has either lost their connection or gone to bed. Any questions? Kay.
Yeah. No. I'm on the phone,
Okay.
I'm on my own iPhone listening to you.
All right. Well.
So basically, I've listened to what you said, and I love independence,
Uh-huh.
To be honest, I do not want to work for anybody else. You ain't going to get rich, is it?
Well, I tell people that are doing this, don't quit your day job, okay?
Yeah.
Make some money if you have to keep doing this steady for a year, 2 years, 3 years. Add some money into your bank account because, see, here's what's going to happen. If you go in and ask for a raise, you're going to leap into another tax bracket, and you're really not going to have more take-home pay. It's just going to put you into a different tax bracket. But if you go out and earn extra income, let's say in a second job, all the time that I was working, I worked at least 2 and sometimes 3 jobs, all right, because I was always taking that extra money and, putting it back in the bank and using it for seed money to finance my own business startup. It probably affected a lot of my relationships, because I was a workaholic and I didn't pay attention to maybe the emotional needs of my significant other, my wife or girlfriend, or my ex-wife and my many ex-girlfriends. But I knew that if I wanted to be totally independent of the banks and the government, not to take any money from them, because to do so, you're only creating debt. If you charge something on your credit card, you're creating debt. If you have a debit card, you're paying for it out of your checking account, you're not creating debt. But if you have an open credit card, you've got to pay that bill. You've just created debt when you sign that receipt. Same thing with getting a bank loan. Okay, there's times when, yes, you do need to go get a bank loan. If you've got a substantial amount of money to put down, you don't have to borrow so much. Maybe you can get a better interest rate because you've got a bigger down payment for the loan. But if you can work an extra year or two, to finance your own business startup, I'd say do that. But, for instant rewards and these little CPA verticals like this, I don't know anywhere else where you can get started in a business for under $100 or 75 GBP.
Yeah.
It cost me less. Well, I think the last time I was working with somebody over in the UK, I think it cost them like 10 or 15 pounds max.
15.
10 or 15.
Maximum, yeah.
Yeah, 10 or 15 pounds was like the max what they spent on some of their offers getting qualified. And they made that back in their first week. Because once they were green, they were qualified, they were up and running. If you go out and start a landscaping business, you got to go out and buy a lawnmower and tools and weed eaters. You're going to spend a lot of money, and you're going to be hustling out there and working a lot of hours out in that hot sun before you can make a return on your investment. It's going to take you a while. It might take you a week or two to break even.
Yeah. So it's like, for writing ads, you got to write good templates,
Uh-huh.
Like templates for posting ads would be a good idea. It's like the same thing for a lawnmower, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like, getting into, well, I provide some templates, these little sample ads. You don't want to follow them word for word, but I put them up here for a reason, so that people could use them. They're basically templates, to give you ideas, okay? But here's something else. A lot of people don't know how to write compelling ads. Joe Sugarman, he wrote some very good books. One of them was Triggers. The other one was the Ad Week copywriting book. This one was How to Think Like a Marketing Wizard. Joe Sugarman is an excellent writer. Here's one, Advertising Secrets of the Written Word. These books and books by Joe Vitale and Grant Cardone. If people don't go and buy something occasionally, it might cost you $27 or $30. This is part of your ongoing education. It's in your library. You can bookmark it. You can put little tabs on it. You can put sticky notes on it and mark the sticky notes and mark the pages, for reference. I've got these books within arm's reach on my desk, okay, where I can pull them down when I need to jog something, okay, and how to write hypnotic copy and write with triggers, word triggers, okay.
Scientific. Do you mean like scientific? Do you mean scientific?
Yeah, it's all psychological. Here, these are just some sample template ads, okay?
Okay.
If you look at some of these template ads here, if you figure out a good headline. If you don't find a headline on here, there's some here at the bottom. Okay, here's some headlines: customer service positions, new customer service position, need 5 people today, or whatever. Stop searching, start working.
To me, that's catchy and scientific rather than the other spam that I've seen before.
Yeah, these are generic. All right. These are just generic. Some of these, you don't want to use some of these things, on Craigslist, like work at home. Those are red flag words. But
yeah, well, definitely.
you might. It depends. You've got to it's a learning process where you've got to find out what you can get away with in the way of headlines. Headlines are important, like subject lines and emails. How do you increase your open ratio? This is not something that you can learn overnight. Not everybody's going to do this, okay? Only people that are committed, all right? I tell people, I say, quit applying for jobs. Go to work today. I get calls on those, I said, quit applying for jobs. Quit sending in your resumes. Start working today. Give me a call. And I just send them the information by I said, give me your first name, last name, email address, and your phone number. I'm going to send you some information. I want you to check your email, watch this, get back with me, and tell me if you're interested in doing this.
I'm interested in doing this, yeah. I'm one of those.
I'll tell them, call me back if you're interested. If you're not, I'm not going to chase you. I have too many people looking for a job wanting to go to work with me. I just tell them, I won't strong arm you. I won't chase them.
I'm committed to do it, you see. I would not go. I would rather do this,
Well, I put in a lot of long nights and long days. You can ask Michelle. We stay on here sometimes late at night, 2 or 3 hours. But we try to hammer it out as best we can. And I work long hours. I'll stay up till midnight sometimes on mastermind calls after the webinar. And then I'll get up at, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, go back at it again, and I might take me a little nap, kick back in my chair about noon after lunch. And I might take me a power nap for 45 minutes or an hour. And then I go back at it again because, I've got work. I went and laid down last night after I finished at midnight. I laid down in my recliner, just kind of kicked back in my recliner, and my brain was still running 90 miles an hour. I said, man,
still running, yeah.
I said, man, what are you doing? You've got work to do in there. And I finally listened to my body because my body says, oh, no, we're getting ready to shut your fat ass down.
I feel like that now. My brain's on, but my body's going to go to sleep now.
Yeah, and I woke up, this morning, and I went back at it. I still had everything fresh on my mind. A lot of times I just take a notebook and I put it on the end table next to my recliner. But, I've always been a workaholic.
Workaholics where to work all the time.
Yeah. Anything to bring in money and then try to teach others, because I spend, there's only 2 days out of the week, actually 3, that I don't do webinars. That's Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday. But on those days, I might be doing a private webinar with one of my recruits, or I might be doing a tutorial. I might be doing 2 tutorials, okay? So I'm still working. It's just that the live webinars I only do on Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. During the week, during the day, I have other meetings and webinars, seminars as needed with my paying clients on retainer. We don't do them on a regular basis. They just call me during the day and say, can we schedule up a meeting? And you record it. Sure. You know, they're paying $2,500 an hour. Why not? I'll give them an hour of my time. They might be one of my $10,000 a month, retainer customers, and I'll give them an hour or two of my time. I mean, they're paying for it.
Yeah, they're paying for it.
Yeah. So they call me up, and they say, can we get you to do this meeting, set it up for us? Sure.
Yeah,
Do it on the fly. Send them the link by email, and they'll send it out to all their people, and we'll just sit here and kind of wait, and I'll put them on presentation mode, and I'll just go off and walk, go make me some coffee. Let them run the show.
Yeah, they got on the show.
Yeah, and it's well worth the subscription price to the software. GoToMeeting cost me $49 a month. But it's well worth it. It's an investment. It's a write-off. Okay, it's a business expense. Run it like a business, and that's what we're all about.
It's like starting your own shop or something. Say it all up first before you get out there. Start posting. Make sure that it's not spammy. It's like job here. It's got side school points in it. Am I right?
Yeah.
So So when I go to classifiedads.com, that's the URL I could see there. Yeah. Could you zoom in there?
That's, let me send you the link. This right here, you want the link to the sample ads? Let me send it to you on the chat. That's, this is just the ad templates, okay? Over here it's classified-ad-sites.webs.com.
I've got it now.
Yeah, I will include this link in the description of the YouTube video when I get it uploaded after I render the video and upload it to YouTube. I always include this link for people so they can go over here and advertise if necessary. But I will be including other works and a lot of free stuff. I mean, I give away a lot of free stuff. So it's not like, I don't charge for everything.
Yeah.
This right here, this particular book, if they want a copy of it, they can download it. It's got clickable links in it. I've given everybody a preview of it tonight. If you feel like it's worth $10, then, people can download it. If not, then they don't. Okay. It's not like I'm not going to go broke if people don't buy it, and I'm not going to get rich if people buy it.
Yeah. I would get it, but I'm on my phone, but I need to get it tomorrow when my computer's, someone else used the computer if I'm with her, but I would get it tomorrow.
Yeah, not a problem.
But it's because I'm on my phone.
Yeah, I'm not going to go hungry if you don't. I do have some big ticket items. No, Michelle, what I'm doing is I'm hosting this up on my personal server, and it's paid through PayPal. So if you click the Buy Now button, it'll take you over to the PayPal pay window, as you see here. And you can either pay for it with a credit card or pay for it with a PayPal account. And there's the title, right there. And if you decide to cancel and return to DMS Group, it'll just bring you back to the classified ad site. Okay. But it's an instant download. It's, once it's paid for, it it goes to the instant download where you can download it and save it. It'll open it up in your browser. It'll download it and save it so you can save it to your hard drive.
No.
I have others. I am getting it printed for Amazon. It won't be a real thick book. It will have the links in it. I'll probably put it out in 8.5 by 11 format as a printed book. I'm also going to put it out in Kindle format and put it down in a secured PDF download over at lulu.com. So I have several venues that'll do print on demand. It's just not going to be a real thick book at 26 pages because printed 2 sides, it's only 13, 14 pages. So it's not going to be a real big book. I do have some very large paginated books. One of them I'm working on right now is written for Craigslist. How to master that wild animal, Craigslist. First thing I do in the first opening chapters, I tell people, I said, go to their website and look at their terms of service. You want to learn how to post there. Don't just go, and don't go with everything you find on the internet. You find stuff up on the internet on YouTube about Craigslist. I'm telling you, some of those videos need to be taken down because they're obsolete, or they changed, or they're just giving out bad poop. Okay. These Craigslist email harvesters, I'm going to tell you right now, you'll get slapped faster than a coyote on Viagra.
So it's obviously not going to be a good idea to use either email harvester or autoresponder.
An autoresponder, if they respond to your Craigslist ad, can work in a particular venue. And one of the things that I've done over on YouTube is I've already done this over on YouTube. Is I've showed people how to set up canned responses. Okay. I don't need to go back over that, but you can find videos over here on canned responses. Say instant rewards, back office, Craigslist, canned responses. It should pull up there. I've got how many? Right here, I've got how many? Everything with the instant rewards thumbnail is a YouTube video that I've uploaded and created. Okay. Here's one, modifying autoresponder messages and posting. Right here, using canned responses on Craigslist. Here, I'll send you this. Copy link location. It's 1 hour and 26 minutes. Send it to you in the chat window here. Okay. Here's another one, posting on Craigslist, right below it. Okay, so let me send you the query. I'll just send you the query string for you and Michelle. You can go over there and just go to that query string. You can also, go to the channel and scroll down and search. If you go to the main channel right here, you can do a Control F and it doesn't show there. Okay, so I may have to go further down and open up my archives and load more. Okay, let's see if I can't find it here. don't see it highlighting. Do another load. Not seeing it. Here it is. Yeah, that's the one that I just sent you. This was done back in July. Okay. I couldn't see it showing up, but it did pull it up into the middle of the page. Using canned responses. Then here, let's see, posting on Craigslist. I think I covered the canned response again. Matt Wolf probably did one of the better jobs of canned response tutorial, but he was using an older version of Gmail and Craigslist. Okay. He was using an older version of the Gmail back office interface, whereas now, you know, in Gmail, they've changed up the back office interface. They now have tabs, and, you know, the back office is a little different. You can use themes, but it follows the same, pretty much the same format. So it's still easy enough to learn. I use canned responses that are keyed in to the exact title of the ad, so that, you know, versus an autoresponder or a vacation response message from Yahoo, Gmail, or Hotmail, it doesn't go out to everybody. It only goes out when it's triggered by a particular string. It's keyed and triggered by a particular subject line. So not everybody gets the same message, only those people that are replying to that ad. All right? So if I'm, you know, if I'm posting over here on Craigslist, and I go into let me just go into human resources real quick and look at it, you know, look at something here. They've got a reply button here, okay? I could set up a canned response based on this string right here. Okay.
So the canned response, yeah?
Actually, it would be based on just that part of the string, because this is the locator. One of the things that I don't do is when I make an ad, I do not put in the location, because that narrows down my exposure. If I leave that open, okay, and I log into my account, and I've renewed a bunch of ads today, so, you know, and I've deleted some old ones. But it's like this one here. If I wanted to edit this, you notice I don't have a city. So if I say edit this.
Is that a text ad or HTML ad?
Yeah, and I've got HTML markup in it. It'll take some basic HTML. But you notice I got specific location and postal code blank.
Empty. Yeah. It's a good idea. Not a good idea to put it in, because it gives you location. Don't want unknown people knowing, do you?
Well, not only that, but it gives you a broader reach and exposure outside of your area when people are searching for that string. Okay? When they're searching for that string, this one doesn't get a whole lot of hits, okay? And I use H1 tags. I use a lot of H1 tags. So let me just go back and find another ad that I'm working on. Okay. Account reps. This is one of the ads that I'm working on. Doesn't have a reply button. So if I click on that, that's one I showed you earlier today. Okay.
Yeah, I see now.
If I want to edit the posting, I didn't use any HTML markup in it. Okay, I just used plain text. But if somebody were to do a search on Google for account reps, Craigslist ads are indexed into the search engine. They do come up in searches. Okay. Some of mine come up in raw searches. All right. So let's go back over and take a look at one of the other ads. All right. Sales account reps earn potential $300 to $500 per day. Okay. Sales jobs. Let's go in and edit. All right. This is one of those ads that doesn't have a reply button. Need 5 sales account reps. I can change this. Sales account reps. I might say sales account reps needed. And you see it's a real short job type ad, okay? I can go in and tweak it. I don't put a location in there, so it gives me a little bit better. Let me just go ahead and continue and edit that. All right. No images.
Okay.
Now, I have chosen not to show an email address, so I have to make sure I include my contact info, and I have with my phone number. Okay. This way, when people see it, they'll call me. And I'm telling you, during a day with an ad like this, my phone is ringing off the wall. Okay. Now, it'll take about 15 minutes to an hour for this to get indexed back into the Craigslist system. But what I'll do is I'll click like best of, reload, best of, reload, and I'll do, because it doesn't track the IP that's doing the reloads. It counts it as, a visit. And I'll give it a few best ofs. I'll give it a few reloads. It'll give it some more weight in case somebody does come over here and hit it with spam or prohibited or miscategorized. In case it gets flagged, I'll have a few good votes for it, with a few hits and rehits.
It will be unlikely to get flagged because it's underneath the radar of the competitors in the industry. It's like a job.
Well, look at the ad. Look at the way it reads, okay? The pimply-faced teenager down in his mummy's basement, surfing porn sites and, flagging you is not going to, he's not going to see, he's probably not going to even see my video. All right? It's going to look like, regular ad. I might even have to take this, must have a high-speed connection to the internet. Go back and manage the ad. Go back and edit, all right? Let's say take that out, all right? Must be able to work a minimum of 2 to 4 hours per day. No work, no pay, no eat.
Yeah.
Must possess basic word processing skills. Must have basic phone skills. No cold calling. All calls are inbound. If you don't like to talk on the phone, this job is not for you. I might take that out, okay? Full training provided. Something like this, make it all fit in one window, okay? And click done. Very short and to the point, okay? Publish. And there, you know, I need to refresh this. There. Now, okay, there's the title. I can fix a canned response for that, but I would have to redo the ad to put in the reply button. See, when I made this ad, I did not include the reply button, all right, because I do want them to call. This is the way I follow up on the $300 to $500 a day schema. This is why, you know, when I did this video over here back about, what was it, Michelle, about 2 weeks ago, how to consistently, this was back 3 weeks ago, okay? It's right here, okay? I'm going to go ahead and put this on hold. Now you'll notice that I've gotten a lot of these videos monetized. I've got them monetized with ads. You can let it ticker down on 5 seconds and click it off, you know, skip ad, all right? But right here, okay, in the description below the video, you can go to this link and download the PDF that I use in the presentation. You can also get the link to the webinar right here. You can follow me on Twitter and Classified Ads DIR. That's my link over at Instant Rewards. You don't need to sign up there. I got a lot of people that, you know, find me through these videos, and they'll sit here and watch, you know, the whole hour, 2 hours sometimes. Subscribe on that button, you know. If you click on that link right there, it's going to load up the PDF into your browser, and you can take it and print it off and write notes on it, make notes on it. It'll print out black and white unless you tell it to print color. But you can scribble it up, make notes on it, and print it off. You can save it to your hard drive. Let's say you want to save it to your hard drive. And I'm going to give you a little secret how you can get this into text format. Let's say we put this on our desktop, okay? We'll put it on our desktop, save it. Now, it's finished. Come over here. All right, now let's open it up in the PDF viewer. I'm going to go ahead and log out of Craigslist. Taking forever to load up. That's my great nephew.
That's nephew?
Yeah, my great nephew. That's my nephew's son. Now, yeah, he is. If you take and open it up in your PDF Adobe Reader, you can come down here and say save a copy or save as text. All right. And let's say you just want to put it in a text file. We'll just call it, 3-500. So it's already on my hard drive there. Let me get it. Let me post it over. Save as text. Let me put it over on my desktop, okay, where I can find it. All right. Now, let's go and open up 3-500 in text, okay. And here, what you can do is, once you save it in text, you can come in here and you can, chop, you can modify, you can put in your own, kind of make it fit your own voice, print it off, use it, steal it, okay?
Yeah.
Develop your own script in your own voice,
This is quite good. You can save it.
It's got a lot of bullets in it, okay? Now I'm going to go ahead and just, say don't save it, and I'm going to delete that because I don't need it. I've got it over in the my documents. The links won't show up in the text file. The bullets will show up, okay? So you can, you can develop your own style. Let me open up my documents, okay? Open up folders, my documents. There's 3-500, see? I put all my videos and everything in here because it's easier for me to find them.
That's good, isn't it?
I put them in my documents, and then as I archive them, I'll stick them off on a flash drive, after I've uploaded them, and then I'll clean them out because they tend to be very big, 138, 217 megabytes, especially when I get them up into the 2 and 3 and 3.5 hour range. Here's one almost a half a terabyte, 482 megabytes. Okay. This was one of those nights where it was probably about the 3 hour and 45 minutes. Actually, it shows a duration of only an hour and 10 minutes. 482,000 kilobytes, 482 megabytes. Still a fairly large file. So. Anyway, if we don't have any more questions, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, and then we can get into some Q&A if you wish. Thank you all for attending, Michelle. thank you for showing up. And Kay from
thank you very much
from
for
the
your
UK.
Yeah.
Next time I have one of these, I'll try to get some of my people from Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, and Willie from Florida to come on with us and share some of their experience with us.
Okay.
So I'm going to say good night on the recording.